which is the impact of sustainable marketing factor on sustainable consumer behavior in the retail industry. So the reason why I choose this topic because sustainable is become more important now, but still many consumers still do not consistently purchase sustainable products. So therefore, I wanted to identify the factor that influence sustainable consumer behavior. So now I'll explain the background first. Consumer concern about environmental issue and climate change has increased the importance of sustainable consumption in the retail industry, but still have many retailer adopted sustainable marketing strategy to encourage responsible purchasing. However, sustainable consumer behavior remains inconsistent. Therefore, this study is to examine the factor influencing sustainable consumer behavior in the retail industry. So the objective of this study is to examine the influence of awareness of consequences, subjective norm, attitude, and self-efficacy on sustainable consumer behavior in the retail industry. Next are the problem statement. Although environmental awareness has increased, many consumers still do not consistently purchase sustainable product, as I said just now. So factors such as social influence, attitude, confidence, product availability, and affordability may affect sustainable purchasing decision. Therefore, this study is to investigate the influence of awareness of consequences, subjective norm, attitude, and self-efficacy on sustainable consumer behavior in the retail industry. The research question is, what factor influence sustainable consumer behavior in the retail industry? So for research methodology, this study is underpinned by the theory of planned behavior or TBB, which explains the attitude, subjective norm, and perceived behavioral control influence behavioral intention and actual behavior. So the reason why I chose TBB because it's one of the most widely used theory for explaining consumer behavior, especially sustainable consumer behavior. Next are the conceptual framework. There are four independent variables, which is awareness of consequences, subjective norm, attitude, and self-efficacy. And the Tibetan variable were sustainable consumer behavior. For research design, this study used quantitative approach and cross-sectional survey. And the population were retail consumer, and there were 102 respondents. The sampling method was used on no probability convenience sampling. And the data were collected using Google Form questionnaire. The measurement scale is 5-point Likert scale, and the data were analyzed using IBM SPSS. And lastly, the statistical test included correlation, regression, and reliability analysis. So next are the findings. For the demographic finding, the most respondents were female, which is 68.6%, and the rest is male with 31.4%. Besides, the most respondents were aged 18 to 24 years old with 65.7%. So moving on to the descriptive statistic, as you can see here, awareness of consequences recorded the highest mean with 4.03, followed by attitude and sustainable consumer behavior with 3.91, and self-efficacy 3.89, and lastly is subjective norm. So most of the mean value were close to 4, as you can see here, so which indicate that most respondents tended to agree or strongly agree with the statement. So subjective norm recorded the lowest mean, suggesting that social influence may have less impact on consumer compared to their personal attitude. Next are the multiple regression results. As you can see here, H1, H2, and H3 was supported because the p-value is lower than 0.05. Yeah, so and the H4 were not supported because the p-value is greater than 0.05. So this means that self-efficacy did not have statistically significant influence on sustainable consumer behavior. And one possible reason is that consumer purchasing behavior may be influenced more by their attitude and environmental awareness than by their confidence alone. So therefore, self-efficacy did not show a significant independent effect in this study. Lastly is the model summary. So as you can see, the R square value is 0.767. This means that the 4 independent variables explain 76.7% of the variation in the sustainable consumer behavior. So the model is also significant because the p-value is less than 0.001. So moving on to the conclusion, the results show that attitude awareness of consequences and subjective norms significantly influence sustainable consumer behavior. And as I said just now, attitude has the strongest influence, however, self-efficacy is not significant. So H4 is not supported. Overall, the finding help retailers understand how to encourage more sustainable purchasing behavior. So for the practical implication, I think the retailers should strengthen environmental awareness campaign. Because environmental campaign can help consumers understand the environmental consequences of their purchasing behavior and improve their attitude towards sustainable product. The second is to improve the visibility and availability of sustainable product. Retailer can place sustainable product at eye level stage, create green product section, and highlight eco label on packaging. Third is to use social media, influencer, and customer review. Because social media and influencer can increase awareness, create social influence, and encourage consumers to purchase sustainable product. And last is offer affordable sustainable product to reduce purchasing barriers. Because many consumers may think sustainable products are expensive, so we can give some discount, voucher, or other promotion so that can reduce purchasing barriers. Last, for future research, in the future we can include mediator or moderator variable because this is to provide a deeper understanding of consumer behavior since my report don't have mediator or moderator. So second is to use larger sample size to improve the generalizability of the finding and examine the additional factor that may influence sustainable consumer behavior such as environmental knowledge, green trust, or product availability. So yeah, that's all for me.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, so your topic and the impact of sustainable marketing factors on sustainable consumer behavior in retail industry. Okay, so retail can be anything.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So who buys out of service? Who buys sustainable product? Which group of people has the power to buy sustainable product? Do you buy sustainable product?
Yes, I think like the youngest people like 18 to 24 years old.
They buy sustainable product.
Yeah, because people now is like care about the environmental issue, so they are more willing to buy the sustainable product.
So compare sustainable product and non-sustainable product. Which one is cheaper?
I think sustainable
product is cheaper.
Yeah. And no sustainable product is cheaper.
Huh?
So I think
non-sustainable product is cheaper, right? Okay. So you say non-sustainable product is cheaper.
So that's why I will mention here offer affordable sustainable product to reduce purchase.
Okay, sustainable. So you say non-sustainable product is cheaper, and then you also say the younger generation, the Gen Z, they like to buy. How do they get money to buy sustainable products since it's very expensive? Which means your demographic is already wrong. Because you see, since you are the one who says sustainable product is expensive, non-sustainable is cheaper. So who has the purchasing power to buy sustainable product? Those people who are working and earning, they can buy. People, college going students, they won't buy sustainable product because for them it's very expensive. Correct, right?
I think it's expensive, but I think
No,
it's still
the generality is expensive. They cannot buy because if they buy, how are they going to? Because if they are working, okay, they do part-time job. Then part-time money is enough for them to pay for whatever expenses that they have. Okay, they may buy, but then the preference of buying is very low. Probably lipstick, sustainable product they will buy, but that is also very expensive. Can satu lipstick, if I'm not mistaken, can go up to the sustainable one. Okay, can go up to 200-300 ringgit. Correct? A good one, a good brand. If you take the Robo brand, okay, they use some animal oil to breed. That one will be cheaper because why they can breed mass production. So yeah. So your demographic you have to be very sure. Okay. So you see your demographic here shows 18 to 24%, 18 to 24 years old. The largest, Probably you shouldn't have looked at them. You should have looked at people. Okay. Demographic, 30 years old. Okay. And then you look at the salary. Where is the salary? Then you do the research. Then your research is valid. So this is the flaws that I see. Okay. So in future, you guys are going to work in marketing line. So this is how you should look into things. Okay, it's nothing to do with this part here. Okay, this part can be beautiful, but if this part, the demographic you missed out. Okay, so all the things you missed out. Alright. So now you see, so I see all your what do you call that, multiple regression, all supported. Okay. So in future, if you were to given the same, if you want to test again H4, how would you test this differently? How would you conduct a test differently for H4? Since now it's showing not supported. How would you test? So now this variable is not supported, right? So in future you want to use the same variable. So how would you test this variable again to see whether will I get the same result or will I get a different result? How would you do it? You got the answer, you already given the answer. Just testing you whether you know the answer.
How I can try to test again?
How would you test this?
Test the p-value.
How would you test the p-value so that the value? How would you do the test so that the p-value
if the
is supported?
p-value is below than 0.05,
So how would you get the p-value? What kind of method can you use to get that value? That is the method to do that.
Regression result.
No method. This is the process now to get the regression. What are the other things that you put? Like you put, when you put suddenly not enough salt, you put salt, right? Suddenly after you put salt, too salty already, what you put? You put water, right? Just to balance it, right? Bagi dia, this one, right? What do you do?
I think I should use larger sample size.
Okay, how big is the sample size that you need to use?
Maybe 200, 300. Because now my research size is 102.
According to hair, what is the ideal sample size to use? Minimum sample size. Hair has always said this. Harlan also has always said this. Use this
500?
minimum.
Or minimum 200? 150?
I always tell in class, but I think nobody listen. So anyway, okay, go and find out. Okay, so anyway, okay, your presentation is okay, but when it comes to this demographic here, the emphasis has to be given to people who are earning, who are in the area where they have the purchasing power. Because this group of people, they don't have the purchasing power. They only get money from their parents. If they work,
But I think 33 still can, right?
no. If I am studying, I won't buy sustainable product. You want to buy organic food also. Okay, you go to organic shop, you buy lunch, one time the go it can cost you 20 ringgit. Okay, that's normal organic food. Right? If you go with the same 20 ringgit to other shop, you can eat so lavishly. You can eat, non-sustainable way of. They don't use sustainable or organic ingredient. They use the normal ingredient. So it's like that. Okay. Anyway, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.